Are we gonna work this time? Maybe? It's trying, Jessica. Yeah, it's trying to add. I promise. I don't know what it's doing. Might have to send George again. Yep, connection failed. Let's see if I can send it to you. I don't see you now. Hmm. Like I said, I might have to go back to George. All right, George, are we going to get this done this time? Again? Yeah, George is trying to add you. I think I had to end up sending you the invite. Or no, you did have to send it to me. So I don't know why it's not adding you right now. We'll get you added though. I promise. Mm-hmm. All right, there comes your invite, George. Should have an invite somewhere. I just can't tell you where. Still says it's trying to add. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this person was unable to join because of technical issues. Huh. Oh, there you go.
There. Yay.
There you are. Hey, welcome back.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll go back and catch you guys up. Gotta love those gremlins.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody to Saint Anger Productions Presents. Today we are interviewing Jessikah Roadiee and George Paul New. Welcome,
Hello.
guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. So,
Yeah.
guys, I fully support the local entertainment. However, local is not limited to just Tonkawa, Tulsa, or wherever. Local can literally be anywhere you are located. Local is your scene, your location. So, with that being said, what is your location? Tell me a little bit about what local means to you and describe for us what the local music industry is where you're at.
Wow. Okay.
You're just gonna have to repeat yourself over again.
I know. A local music scene around here is, like I said earlier, I've told our friend Hoyamaha Coin that runs Blue Mondays, and they've been doing amazing with the local scene and getting people out there. And Scary Larry Hewitt, is another one, a buddy of mine that's doing a lot of stuff, and it's helping the music scene because the talent is here. There's a buku's of talent out here, and there are a bunch of them we'll never hear.
There's a bunch of them that's made it national, made it big.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So what is this Blue Monday you was talking about?
Blue Mondays was
it's a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's coming out of Stigler, the studio and everything's in Stigler.
Yeah.
Nice.
And of course they're started out there seated in the blues, obviously, Blue Mondays.
Yes.
But they not just blues, because I played on it, 2 times, 3 times?
A few times, yeah.
And they keep having me back, and they had a death metal band played on there
not too long ago.
Last
Monday, actually.
And that's way different than blues. And I thought it was cool because they're giving them the chance. They're giving them a voice.
And see, that band also comes out of Fort Smith.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to pronounce the name of the band, but I can't remember. But they're coming out of Fort Smith, and they were pretty heavy.
Yeah, they were very heavy, but they were tight.
Yes, they were. They were awesome.
Tight that drummer was tight as shit. But of course, it's all those blast beats and brrr, but he had it down, man. He was good.
That's good.
Yeah.
So local talented metal band with a name that matches apparently, because if you can't read it or you can't understand it, it must be pretty metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's how the metalheads gauge the level of the show. Like, the harder it is to see the understand the flyer, the better the show's going to be.
Oh, yeah. If you look at it and go, how you pronounce that? I don't know, but it's going to be badass. Let's go.
Hell yeah. If I come home all bloodied up, you know it's a good night.
Yeah.
People want to say they sacrifice goats. No, they don't. They sacrifice themselves in the pit.
Yeah, you ever been in a mosh pit? Yeah. The goat
I have
had
not.
It easy. The goat had it easy. All that had to do was get sacrificed. It wasn't in the pit.
Exactly. There's a reason I don't go into mosh pits.
Me neither.
I'm way too fragile. I might break a neck or something, Oh.
Yeah. I don't go above. Yeah. Well, you've seen me. I don't weigh but $1.25.
Yeah, but you know how to play that guitar, though.
Yeah, I can do that. Yes, thank you.
So, one of my friends, Monica, says, go listen to my cousin's band, Marry Sleep with Kill.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Not to be sure to give him a follow.
Okay,
cool.
we will. We'll check it out.
Absolutely.
There you go, Monica. And so, how far is your reach? How far would you say that is?
My reach for in the music community?
Yes.
Oh man, I played around a lot, especially in this whole part of the country, being Missouri and Arkansas and a little bit of Texas, Oklahoma.
Hmm.
But that's my reach may have went further back in the day, but not so much anymore.
Okay.
But I mean, I know new people that far in that broad of an area that I could call on to jam or whatever.
That is a pretty good sized area.
Yeah.
Now the one I interviewed earlier, um, um, Jamie Missler of Marshall Rock. Have you put in to be played on her
Yeah,
internet radio?
I've talked to her a few times. Yes, she wants it. She wants an MP3 of one of the
Yes.
songs, and she would put him on the rock radio. I've already talked to her,
Mm-hmm.
but he
Get her
has
done and get
to
on the radio.
record one of the songs.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I'm in the process of
And yeah, that's what
Blue
Mondays also
Monday.
does that.
Blue Mondays has a pretty good recording studio, and they can record a whole band or whatever to do an album or a track. So my plan is to go there and lay down a couple of tunes.
There you go. I bet it'll sound really good. I can't wait to hear it come out.
Me too. Hopefully that won't be too long. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Right on. My fingers will be crossed for you.
You got to play the cards you're dealt. They suck sometimes, but you got to play them.
Right. So, Jessica.
Yeah.
How about you? With what you do, how far is your reach?
I don't know. George is the one that put me kind of into the music scene in the first place. So I've been in the scene for about maybe 6, 7 years. I don't play guitar or anything like that. I don't sing. I ain't a musician. I'm just like a roadie. I follow him everywhere, and like when we're out in the scene and if somebody's like needing help, I'm right there and I'm helping them. I don't care who it is. I'll help anyone. That's me doing.
I like that.
I got a dog growing out of my goatee.
But like I said, I've been in the scene for about 6 or 7 years, and it's because of him. I met him, and he's pretty much put me in the scene. So if before like when I didn't know him, I was not in the scene. I was not doing anything with music, but I'm hot and heavy in it now.
And she's doing good. I think one of the reasons she's doing good is because she was never in the music scene before.
Nope.
She didn't know anything how the music scene works, anything like that. So
yeah, because it's changed in the last few years.
It's been a blessing. It's been a heck of a ride. I love it.
Yeah, but because she hadn't been in it, she hadn't established all the bad habits that a lot of us others have.
Bad habits.
Yeah, so she had established, like, as far as booking and being in the management realm or whatever. So she's really good about that because she ain't got all these bad habits that everybody else gets taken advantage of and blah blah blah.
No, that ain't gonna happen to me.
So
no way in heck.
Yeah,
Gonna happen to me.
Keep that up. Keep up that attitude.
I stay strong when I'm out there. I'm pleasant. I'm nice. I get along with everybody.
But don't get it twisted. She can turn on bitch in a second. If she needs to, she can turn it to bitch that quick. So, but her people skills are really good. She gets along with everyone.
No,
so she turns bitch, and you did something to royally piss her off or something.
Yeah.
She's talking to you.
Does she? Yeah, well, She'll go roll a bitch on me if I piss her off, but it don't go too far, but yeah, she can.
Yeah, so let's nobody push her to that. You know,
No,
she's a great person. I
because
don't want to see her have to be that. So
like
just
to
be nice to
pester
her.
him.
and
I think that's a lot of it. I like to pester him a lot. He does it to me,
yeah,
so I have to do it back. Like, Pester,
yeah.
are you still there?
Like there's a freaking dog in my lap. But
Tommy, please stop.
So, I guess we kind of know how you got into this. You got into it because of George.
Yeah.
Is that the only thing that persuaded you to do it, or was there anything else, like any kind of other desires, or?
My desire is just to see more of George's music. You know, for
Okay.
a lot more people to hear it, because, you know, like, I don't know, like him being left in corners and stuff like that, that ain't cool, but that's just me just saying that personally because I'm his roadie.
yeah,
And his music is very pretty and mellow. It's not blues, it's not country, it's not rock, but it's what it is. And those are
Yeah, it's his
my
style.
desires, to see, to have more people and to listen to his music, and for him to record his music.
Yeah.
Maybe put it on a CD or something and give it to me, or, you know, let people listen to it.
Hmm. Yeah, you can be
Like
able
my,
to pass it out to.
like
You
I
can
don't
pass
know
it
how.
out to.
I don't
Oh,
really have any desires of like playing or anything, because I've picked up a few things, and you know, guitar is harder than you think it is, and I don't have it. I don't have that patience, and I don't have enough. I don't have the time for it, and
yeah, that's
I don't
understood.
think it will just. It'll be a waste of. To me, it's a waste of time for me.
You would have been good on the drums then.
Well, now I don't know how to play drums either, but I've got this like box looking thing, like a cajon thing I've been practicing on. I do need to start practicing on it more so I can start, you know, playing it with some of his music. But I haven't done that either, so
Well, get to practicing.
I know I need to.
Um, so George, how about you? How did you get into playing music, and do you play anything other than guitar?
oh yeah. I, I started, man. When I started playing guitar, it was Eddie Van Halen. When I heard that, I was like, I got to figure out how to do that. How the hell you make that sound? And,
Right. I'm assuming you're talking about Eruption.
yeah, right. Yep, exactly. So,
Yeah. Everybody's go-to song.
but anyway, so after that, playing guitar through high school, and then when I get into college, I was a music major in college.
Okay.
So I was an instrumental music major. My emphasis was strings, was what I was really focusing on. But anyway, so that's really how I got into music. Once I got into college, it's just like the freaking floodgates opened up for my exposure to music. So
Cool.
I mean, I got everything from classical to jazz to anybody. There's a lot of stuff in there, but anyway, so I went there, got a degree in instrumental music that I don't do jack with, but I got it. So, but that's what I got on my music, I guess, is through that, because I've been playing in bands ever since college. I've been playing in good Lord, one band after the other, all the way up until I got multiple sclerosis, which was in '08, 2008.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
I said, oh, wow.
And but up until then, man, I've been playing in bands, and My favorite one was 6 Foot Landing. That was my band pretty much, and but that's the one where I got MS at the end of it in '08. But we'd played around, did the Route 66 festival 2 years in a row. Got
Nice.
got to play with Leonard Skinner and
Wow.
everybody that was at the Route 66. Who else was it? Dang, what was the name of that band? I can't remember the name of them. But no, it wasn't Dr. Hook. We played with Dr. Hook, was an asshole. But anyway, not to diminish him, I'm not diminishing Dr. Hook, but he was a jerk. He might have had a bad day. I don't know. He was a jerk.
That's entirely possible.
Yeah.
We all have bad days.
Yeah. But anyway, did that Route 66 a couple of years, and that was everybody from Leonard Skinner, Steppenwolf to damn it, I can't. Wallflowers was one of them that was there. Charlie Daniels' band was one of my favorite ones. We got to play with them and got to open for Ted Nugent at the Canes. That was cool. And Ted Nugent was fucked up. He was high as shit. And Ted Nugent don't do drugs. I mean, you know, he's bad on that. But the reason he was high as shit is because he had a root canal that morning.
Oh.
And so he just left the dentist, so he's on the pain meds for that root canal. So he's high as shit. No. And dude, he was interesting. I didn't even go over and meet him. I hung backstage with him the whole time, but I was like, I don't want to meet that guy.
Maybe on a different day.
Yeah, exactly. On a different day, I'd have been cool, but that day he was fucked up. But played a great show, killed it.
And that's crazy that, you know, you think he actually went there and played like that. You know, how many people will cancel a show for a little cold or something, you know? Because, you know, you want to put out your best performance.
Yeah.
You don't want to disappoint anybody, especially when you have a lot of fans.
Yeah, and of course it was at the Canes, so Ted Nugent at the Canes was sold out.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
That's just, so it was packed place, man. We played there open for him. It was cool.
Congratulations on that one.
Yeah.
You kind of had me at Charlie Daniels, though.
Yeah, that was the one that I dug. I dug that cool. It was Charlie Daniels and Steppenwolf.
That is crazy. That is awesome.
That was cool. And they were at the festival, but they were in the morning. But we got to play with them.
I mean, getting to play with them, still getting to play with them, doesn't matter when.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care.
You were seen within the same day.
Yep.
So, guess this would be a question for George. You've done a little bit already, but describe your musical background for us. Like you know, you said you was in college for music.
Yeah.
You got your music degree. What did it take to get your degree? Like, what classes did you have to take for that?
Oh man, of course you had to take all your theories and advanced theories and all the ear training. Did a lot of ear training. That was my favorite one. Ear training, sight singing classes, and that's where those people that can just look at a sheet of music and go, oh, this goes da 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 da, and they can sing it out for you because they've had ear training and sight singing, and you don't have to have perfect pitch to do that. Don't have to have perfect pitch at all. You'll know what that melody will be doing by looking at it. And I used to be able to do that somewhat, but nowhere near it. It's been over 20 years since I
You
was in
didn't
college.
practice.
That goes
You
away.
didn't practice it.
Yeah, I could get it back because I remember what it takes to get it, but I just maybe one day.
It just still comes back down to practice. If you don't practice it, you lose it, right?
That's right. Darn
And that
right.
goes for any of it. If you don't practice it, you lose it.
Yeah. I think it's funny when they say, "Oh, it's like riding a bike." You don't forget. I was like, "Yeah, but I ain't gonna go get on a bike if I ain't rode one in 20 years and go get in a fucking bike race."
Right? You
I
got to
mean, I might
relearn how to
still know how to ride
time.
it, but I ain't gonna try to really ride it because I will kill myself.
No. One way or another, yeah.
I ain't popping no wheelies. I ain't doing none of that shit.
Mm-mm. It's like me when I try to get back into drumming again after I don't know how many years. 2000, 2008 maybe was the last time I played drums. Up until a couple years ago. So yeah, I went a fair time without playing drums, and it wasn't just getting right back into it either.
No. Life ain't gonna be that easy.
So if you go without practicing, let's just say 2 months, would you be able to get back up on stage tomorrow and do a show?
I could do some of my stuff. There would be a portion of it that I could not play for 2 months, and I could go back. I say, yeah, I could do that. But there's a bunch of them that I was like, no. I had to have some
So
limber fingers.
So what if you had a whole band with you? Do you think without practicing for 2 months, the whole band can just jump right back up on stage tomorrow?
I think they might. It depends on the band, but if they could cover it.
Or would it be better if they just kept practicing together?
At least a little bit, yeah. I remember
Guys, try to keep practicing.
in 6 Foot Landing, I mean, that band was good. And one of the reasons we were good is we practiced once a week. It was carved in stone. We practiced once a week. Whether we had a gig or not, didn't matter. Practiced once a week, continuously. And we did
You
that
never
for
know.
a long time, and it shows. It shows when you do that.
Yes, it does.
So that's one thing I can give anyone that's starting a band. That's like, dude, practice. Don't start out going for, oh, let's go get a gig and that'll be our practice. No, that'll be a shitty gig and you're going to get fired is what that's going to be. So fucking practice.
I mean, you're not going to impress the next person that wants to give you gigs.
And you don't know who that is or who that person that just heard you knows. And
Exactly.
you don't know. So
No, you don't.
So that's the best advice I can always give is practice. I mean, I still practice guitar every day. I mean, I'm sitting down there just noodling on it or whatever, but I'm actually working on certain phrases that are maybe a problem for me or something.
There's that, or there's the possibility of the next song.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there doodling away, just.
Yeah, that's how I write a lot of. That's how I write a lot of my songs.
Yeah.
But Tommy's gonna start barking. No, stop it. Anyway, I have my guitar, and whenever I'm in there watching TV or whatever, I'm usually playing.
Trying to play along to what's on TV?
Yeah, sometimes, or I'm just ignoring it or whatever.
You're writing your own score, not even thinking about it?
Yeah, but that's when I'll come up with a lot of interesting chord shifts and stuff just by randomly grabbing stuff. And those sometimes end up turning into some cool songs.
I could only imagine. So, how do you see yourself for for in the future?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Do you want Jessica to answer first?
Yeah.
All right, Jessica,
I
your turn. How do you?
I want to still be playing, and I would like to be playing enough to be able to start getting gigs, getting solo gigs booked here and there. I don't want to be famous. I want to just get enough where maybe once a month I have a gig somewhere, and that I'm getting paid for, even if it's just $100 or $50 or $20 or whatever.
You know, it'd be nice to know somebody that can book some gigs, huh?
Yes, it would. Yeah.
Let me see if I can get a hold of St. Anger Productions for you. So, Jessica, what do you see for your future?
Like I said, I don't want to be famous or anything. I don't want to like go out. If I had the opportunity to be somebody else's roadie, like I don't know, it depending on who it is.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't want to leave George. Because you know, George is a lot of the reasons why I am where I am and everything. But like if Metallica or something showed up and said, "You want to be my roadie?" Yes, I'm out. Like again,
Bigger,
I
better,
don't
best.
want to be famous or anything, but I do want to be
Acknowledged.
yes, and I want to be known. And a lot of people know me because the few years that I've been into the scene, and it is kind of nice. So
Hopefully,
where
you
I
get some
see
more followers with this.
yes.
You guys go give her a follow.
Well, what is it again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I told them you guys go give her a follow. Maybe you can get more followers here.
Yeah, most definitely.
Guys, go give her a follow. Then go give George a follow too.
Yeah.
Can you give me the name?
What?
What she's talking about?
No, I was talking about for you. That maybe this interview will give you guys followers.
Oh, okay, yes. Because I'm technically following your page. I'm following it anyways.
Yeah, so you guys go follow her.
Trying to start this new roadie podcast. I wouldn't mind seeing it get bigger.
Yeah, I totally have to agree with that too. Because I am trying to do the same thing. Put that putting musicians on there. I've had a few of them.
Yeah.
But not a whole bunch. Like I said, I don't have all the equipment or anything like that. And right now, all I have is Facebook Live.
Yeah.
That's all I got right now on a cell phone.
So, but it's a struggle, and I have come to face with that. So I'm not giving up on it.
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Because we actually, I don't know if George mentioned, but we do have a little building out here where we are, and we want to turn it into New Road Podcast, like a studio, like Blue Mondays.
That would work.
Because it's right here by our house. It's literally behind our house, and it's perfect size.
Yeah, it is.
It just won't be called Blue Mondays. It'll be called New Roadie.
Mm-hmm.
That works.
Yeah.
That's a combination of both names.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because I'm Roadie and New is his last name. So.
Well, he got
New Roadie podcast.
Yep.
Well, hope to see that off the ground soon.
Yeah. I would love to see that. Yes, I would love to see it grow more, and turn it into something really, really cool.
Well, cheers to that. I got my Gatorade getting ready to drink, so cheers to that.
Thank you.
I have great soda.
So you're working on the podcast, and George, do you have anything current that you're working on?
Yeah, well, I'm always in the middle of writing songs, so I'm still writing, working on finishing a bunch of songs that I've got started, or going through a bunch of my back catalog, figuring out which ones I can do, and then figuring out if they can be done on acoustic. But
You can do it. I got faith in you.
I know if you want to hear any of the stuff I've written with 6 Foot Landing, it's under the number 6, then FOOTLANDING, no spaces, 6 Foot Landing with the number 6, and it's on the like the YouTube music, blah blah blah. I know our second album's on there, but our first album's not.
Okay.
But you can go in there and check it out. It's pretty heavy stuff. It's nothing like, if you've heard me sing my stuff I've written, it doesn't sound like that. Except it sounds like I wrote it, because I wrote it. So
Jessica, if you want to get on YouTube and find that and copy paste it to the comments, feel free to.
Okay. Yes, I can do that. Hang on.
Okay. And then we'll probably have to have you do it in the copy that I'm going to upload to, because Facebook and deleting after 30 days.
also, I found an album that I played on. I played bass and guitar on this album.
Okay.
And it was me and the singer and the drummer from Petra.
Really?
You remember that Christian band in the 80s, Petra?
Yes. John Slitt played with them.
Yes, that one.
Yes. I remember them quite well.
I did an album with those guys. Is Project Damage Control. It's the name of the album.
What damage control?
Project Damage Control.
Project Damage Control.
Yeah.
I have not heard of that yet.
Yeah. It's on there. I find you can go on there and you can. I don't know if it's on the music or where it is, but I don't know if I Googled it or YouTubed or whatever, but I found it. But that Project Damage Control.
Somebody just said, I remember that album.
That's my daughter.
That's George's daughter.
That's your daughter. Hi, daughter.
Yeah.
Hi, Alicia.
I love you.
And so, current projects. You mentioned albums. Are you planning on making any solo albums for yourself anytime soon?
Man, I've really, really been wanting to, and I've got all the songs already written for the album, but everybody I've talked to, there's really no reason to put albums out anymore, because they all just do singles at a time. So,
and then it all goes digital anyways.
Yeah. So that's what I don't think I'm going to do, an album. I may do a bunch of songs and then group them together and say, okay, this group of songs called whatever.
Yeah, and make it easier having those to send to people like Marshall Rock, who I interviewed earlier. Because she's got to have the MP3 files, so you record and send those. And that, being digital, that's how you got to get your music out there nowadays.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, Marshall Rock, other streaming platforms. That's how you got to get your music out there nowadays.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than when we were growing up.
Yep. I remember having to take that shitty demo out to the bars, and they'd have to listen to it.
Yep. Those little mixtapes.
Yep.
Yep. I remember those cassette tapes. And then I remember going to CDs, and I was like, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got all the music at our fingertips.
Yep.
How do you think that's affected the local music scene?
That it's changed it, big time changed it. And at first, I'm still not 100% whether it's changing. Is right now, when it first started changing, it was so fucking weird. It was, no one was wanting to get on with it. But now that it's getting better, I think it may be a better for it. The way the scene's changing, where the time periods are changing. You aren't playing like 9 till close, shit like we used to do back in the day.
Mm-hmm. So going from the tapes to CDs, going to digital, your opinion is that it's changing. Like, what kind of ways is it changing for the better?
Well, I guess the way with the CD is because everything's gone digital. You can send everything online. Everything can be bam, bam, bam.
That is very true.
Now, as far as CDs go, the actual as what they are, they're really good format, very good. And what a lot of people forget is that 44K is 44K. No
Yeah.
matter how you cut it, that's 44.1K is what a CD runs at. That's what it is. So you can put 44K of whatever in there, but that's where the thing starts changing, because that sounds good on paper, but you start treating it like it's the old school method. The sound degrades immensely, because it's not just that it's 44K. How did you get it to 44K? What transformers were you using?
How much was you compressing it?
Yes. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's like there's all these variables that were never ever there before that are there and make a huge impact on the end result.
Yeah. It's
Back
amazing
in the
that people
day,
wouldn't even think of that.
back in the day when I was recording on analog tape, you ran that trim as hot as you could get it, so that red light was blinking every now and then. That red light would blink every once in a while. That red light would blink.
Mm-hmm.
Now digital, no. You do not get it from red. When it hits that red, it goes from great to shit.
All the clipping and stuff.
Because of the digital clipping. It don't clip
Yep.
like analog clips. It sounds good because it has that natural overtone distortion on it when it's
Absolutely.
clipping. And digital does not have that natural overtone. It goes and it's just shit.
No. Digital does have its place, but no,
I agree.
I love my analog.
I do too, because it's more forgiving than digital.
Oh, it is.
Way more forgiving.
But if you want to run with all the different EQs and compressors and limiters and gates and everything else that they used to run with for these big concert events like Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, all these big bands, they ran with racks upon racks, good 5-6 foot tall of
Oh yeah.
gear. Nowadays it's all packed in a console, just 6 foot wide.
And it sounds probably better.
They can do a lot more with it. Like, they got the speakers now that they will pair digitally to the mixer and whatnot, like software to software, and the PA tunes itself basically.
Yeah.
Almost like an AI, but it's listening to itself.
Yeah.
The technology's getting there, and it's amazing.
I know we used to have this rack that you'd put in the PA, and you'd put 4 mics around the room, like in 4 corners of the room, and you'd run all this white noise through the PA, and I mean, it sounded like a jet taking off, man. It was the loudest shit you ever heard.
Oh yes, it is.
And goes through there for however many minutes, and what that was doing is it's running all that noise. It's going back to those microphones, telling that thing what the room looks like.
Yep.
This is what the room looks like right here. And then it would tweak. And then when they'd fill up with a few people, use the band as the white noise and just hit the re-EQ. And it's like, okay, now the room looks like this. And it'd change the demand or the ambience of the room or whatever.
Yep. Digital is amazing nowadays.
Yeah.
Doesn't replace using your ear, but it can pick out a little bit more than your ear can.
Damn
like
right,
when
man.
it picks out certain frequencies.
Yeah.
That makes it nice where you can limit that one frequency and bring that down. Or, add your gates and stuff, set everything. Time delays. When you're like at Rocklahoma where they have your main PA and then there's a crowd fill, whatever, I don't remember the name of that fill, but it's got a name. But just out in the audience, there's another set of PA speakers, and they got to set the delay to that.
Oh,
and
the side fills.
Pretty much.
So they had that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about because had to have the time delay, or the thing's going to sound way fucked up. Because by the time the sound gets here, it's already coming back. It's the reflection, all that in those big areas. I had to do that at a few places at a drag strip in Owasso.
Okay.
Had to put that time delay on it because
and it's not so within seconds.
Yeah, you're talking very little time.
We're talking milliseconds.
Yeah. But if you didn't, it would sound weird.
Yep, it'd have its own natural echo.
Yeah.
And when you're talking milliseconds, even 4 milliseconds is enough. It'll throw it off.
Oh yeah.
And especially like you talked about reflection.
Yeah.
So imagine doing all that by ear.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
So digital's come a long ways. It's done its help with the local industry, but if you're going to be a band or whatever or even a local sound producer, to have all that digital equipment, it can add up. I mean, don't get me wrong, analog equipment adds up too, but the digital stuff gets expensive.
And one of the bad things I think that and it looks like that's kind of the direction it's heading, is that they're making it where it's too easy to sound like you're amazing.
Yep.
With auto-tune and pitch correction and, whatever. And some of those people are getting bad about that, but there are some good ones out there, though. But
yes, I mean, it comes in handy just to tweak and tune, but if it's like trying to auto-tune my voice,
if you're using it as a crutch, that's different.
Use it as a mask.
Yeah, but it's but again, I love how far technology's come, but they're just making it where when you hear someone, you might not know if that person is really good or sucks.
Yep.
But they
Exactly.
look good.
That reminds me of the video I've seen. I've shared it several times. You have the audio engineer with the producer right over the shoulder. Look through the window and you see this person just singing, got a beautiful voice. And then the camera goes from this person just over here, like they're typing on a keyboard and just getting all sweaty and just really into it.
He's
You know, from
fixing
that view
everything. Yeah.
to what?
He's fixing everything in real time.
Yeah, but then you go to the other inside the studio and it's just a dying duck.
Oh yeah.
But then you go back into the room and it's, you know, you got this guy here tweaking and tuning and just really working and working. And you got this producer that's just like so amazed with what he's hearing.
Yeah. And that right there should tell you why producers get paid a lot of money.
Shouldn't be any more than the sound tech that's making them sound like that.
But there are a few that can make a turd look like a diamond.
You don't want to be a turd trying to look like a diamond. Get out there, practice, and polish yourself off.
That's what I agree with that 100%. But
make yourself that diamond.
But there's some people that got money, and money trumps that for some reason. Or they think it trumps that, but it don't.
They think so. No, guys, it doesn't. Like it was discussed, was it yesterday, day before? Whenever I was talking, it was Wednesday when I was talking to this old sprout, Gregory Allen Manuel.
Yeah.
He kept throwing around work all throughout the show. Work.
Yeah.
Work.
Okay.
You got to work to make yourself that diamond.
Yeah, I would agree.
And if you're going to rely on technology, I'm a little bit newer age, so I'm okay with, using technology like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube to get yourself out there. But you got to be able to push and make your way to where you want to be.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, she can see us still.
Yeah.
If you look at it on my end, we can see her on my end. You just can't see her on your end. But I can see her on my end. I see her.
Hey,
Look at her.
I see.
we're a little delayed watching other videos, but
Yeah, it's funny.
So George, let me ask you this one. From your perspective, what is the mission for what you do? And do you write songs for the lyrical aspect, the musical aspect, or do you incorporate both?
Hey, what was the first part of the question again?
What is the mission for your music?
Oh, I just wanted to get out there and get heard, and if something good comes around, because I think some of my songs are good enough. If I had the right person do it, it would be a hit. But I'd like to find that. But what was the other part of the question?
Do you write for lyrical aspect, musical aspect, or do you incorporate both?
Well, the musical aspect comes really natural and easy. Well, I shouldn't say easy. It comes easier, and
Easier than what? What's that word? Easier than what?
Easier than the lyrical part.
Or sorry, with what? Easier with what? Practice.
Yeah, that's right. And I've got a lot, but because I was a instrumental music major, and it was instrumental, so I mean, I got that vamp stuff. I got that all day long, so I can come up with music pretty quick. But lyrics can take a little bit longer, especially if you want them to say a damn thing. Because I can come up with something that says nothing right now, but it's going to say nothing.
So what's the difference with that than most songs written? You know, you listen to some of these songs, it's like, what in the world are you talking about?
Yeah, a lot of newer songs like that are out today that I've listened to. It's actually I don't listen to a lot of. I listen to a lot of the radio.
Yeah, that or rock.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
We listen to a lot of rock. I,
So
I've
when you,
changed. I used to like all kinds of stuff when I was younger. Not so much anymore.
that's actually changed with me the other way. Like I was fairly limited, and then the last couple of years I started opening my horizons. So that's kind of interesting that we both went opposite ways.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so George, when it comes to writing lyrical, it sounds like you try to write from the heart and soul, like write
Yeah,
meaningful stuff.
yeah. They start out that way. Yeah, they'll try to be about a certain topic, and then by the time the end of the song, I get them all lyrics written. It may not be that, but it may be something better, or it may be whatever. But I just work with what I get and try to knock off as many rough edges as I can.
There you go. What do you think the most meaningful song is that you've written?
Oh man.
I'm kind of
I love putting people on the
interested
spot.
in that too.
I got one that I wrote that has a lot of my personal experiences in it is Innocent Lost.
Okay.
And that one I was listening to a lot of Paul Simon when I wrote it. So, which Paul Simon has a lot of chord changes in his song, so a lot of chord changes. But that one and I don't know, Dragonfly is a good one that I wrote. And
He also has a song called "The Storm," and it's about addiction.
yeah,
And I relate to that one because
that's a good one.
that's
I do like the lyrics to The Storm.
a good one too.
That's probably my favorite lyrics that I've written is The Storm, because those are good lyrics.
And it's about addiction.
And I got to be honest, I stole part of those lyrics from William Shakespeare. It was
Okay.
from,
I had no idea.
no, it was, because I was in
I like William Shakespeare.
a class in college, and it was like the history of writing, like the actual written word, written on paper writing. The first,
Wow.
because beforehand we used to tell stories. We didn't pass around a book or paper. We told it by word of mouth, the campfires and shit. That's why all
Yeah.
the stories are like the Iliad and the Odyssey and all this crazy stuff. But anyway, so I'm studying that class, and we were studying the first few books of the Bible, Iliad, Odyssey, Homer, and did some Shakespeare is what we ended on, and that's when I wrote that song because we were doing Macbeth.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got a lot of inspiration out of that Macbeth because we were reading that one when I wrote it.
So Macbeth was an influence for the song.
Oh yeah, big time.
So if somebody wanted to listen to those, how could they listen to them?
I don't know. I can pick my guitar and play it.
What is it?
He said, if someone wants to listen to it, where can they listen to it, or how can they listen to it?
What song is it?
The Storm.
Yeah, he don't have that song recorded or anything. You would have to like listen to it if he's sitting in a room and he plays it for you.
Sounds like you need some concerts booked.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He needs CD merch or something like that. So yes, I would agree.
Yeah, I would. I would.
Her name is Michelle Neva.
St. Anger Productions.
Yes, thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome.
Yes, that's what it is. And you guys are coming out of Tulsa, right?
I'm actually out of Tonkawa,
Okay, I don't know where that's at.
up here by Ponca City.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Tulsa. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. A lot of people don't know, so that's just like I did up here by Ponca City. Oh yes, okay. Easier to explain.
I almost got fired from a gig in Ponca City.
Really? Where at?
I wish I could remember the name of the place, but I cannot. When we went there, and we didn't have to play till 9.
Mhm.
So we show up at 7 to set up, and they're like, "No, you're fired." It's like, "What?" It's like, "You guys are supposed to be here at 2 o'clock to load your gear," and I was like, "No one told me that." So anyway, we almost got fired, but we ended up winning them back after they hurt us.
Oh, good deal.
But yeah, almost got fired there at Palm. Drove all the way up there. That's a hell of a drive.
Oh yes, the camping.
Yeah.
Was it at an old bar called the Rockin' Horse?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Okay. They've got new ownership. They're a lot better place now. It's riding high. They've done a lot better job.
Oh, cool.
You might have a chance to get in with them.
Oh, cool.
I might have to see what it would take to get you booked.
That would be awesome. I would love that. To go through in there.
No, I said where was that at?
Palm City.
Oh, okay. Ponca City.
Then just a couple miles away from me, there's a little bar out in the country called Hideaway, which they also have their own dispensary and other stuff, and a boat marina at Call Lake. But I might be able to get you in at the little bar too sometime.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
How far is
Be,
Ponca City from here?
huh?
How far is that from here?
A couple hours.
Okay, I was just
Who
curious.
does that of?
Do what now? I'm sorry.
Where you guys out of?
We live in Gore.
Gore.
I don't know how Georgia explained that to her.
Uh,
It's out here by Tin Killer. I don't know.
you ever heard of Lake Tin Killer?
Yes, that's right.
There
That's
you go.
right.
We're out here by that.
We are
The
in the
nice
Tin
part of
Killer
Oklahoma.
Valley. Man, there's someone
Yeah.
shooting something around us over here.
I know. I keep hearing gunshots all over the place.
Yeah.
It's getting annoying.
You gotta be safe.
Yeah.
No, we're good. People are firing guns everywhere. It's weird.
Yeah.
So, I guess onto the question: when you write your music itself, do you write it like more melodic, or do you what's your writing style for your music?
My writing style is
Come here, honey.
I'll come up with the music first.
Mhm. Do you keep it fairly melodic, or how do you do it?
Yeah, I usually keep it simple. At least at first, I'll keep it simple as I can
Okay.
until I get started into writing it. And then once I get started into writing it, the vocals and the melody itself will kind of drive itself in what direction it wants to go.
Okay.
And but that's one thing I used to never do, but I do now. But now I listen to the song when I'm writing it. If I'm playing it and I get to a part that's at the end, but in my head I'm hearing it's wanting to go somewhere else, I'll go ahead and go somewhere else and see where I end up.
Sounds good to me.
and then go in, and that's what I started doing that. And I think I've written some pretty better songs because of it, but someone may have a different opinion, but I don't care.
Everybody's always got opinions, and we know what they usually smell like too.
Yeah, about the same. Yeah.
And so this will be a question for each of you. Whichever one has it easier, go first while the other one thinks. But so without going into the details regarding, all these hot topics such as politics, religion, ethnicities, or, any of those other debatable hot topics, I want you to describe the morals for who you are as Jessikah Roadiee and as George Paul New, the artist.
I don't even know how to answer that. That's really hard for me.
Well, my morals
He's going first.
have always been, I love doing stuff for people or helping people out if I believe that they would do the same for me.
Or they should, anyways.
Yes, and a lot of times it usually works out really good. I've been taken advantage of in that scenario which we all have, I'm sure, but
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I just really, I said I got MS. I'm disabled. I can't work, so this is all I got is my music. That's it.
And so that means you need the love and support of all the locals to actually listen to your music and to support you. Buy your tickets, buy your merch.
Hang on, I got a dog bellowing in my ear.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
There.
I don't know. He's firing guns everywhere. That's probably what he's barking at. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Now.
On to I don't know what.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. What was that question again?
Like your morals for.
Okay. Yeah. You know, I really want everybody. You know, and it sounds like a socialist thing where if we all did the same, we get along and and that's anyway. But man, I just really want everything to work out. I just want to do my music, get my songs out there that I write, and write it as long as I can.
There you go.
I'm pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
I am nice to everybody. I want to help everybody, and I like being a roadie
because it helps the whole scene when we're cool to each other. It makes it better.
My answer for who Jessikah Roadiee is pretty much the same thing what he just said. It's just coming in a different version of me.
So it all comes down to helping each other.
Yeah.
Like, the industry helping the industry.
Yeah.
Teamwork. I know we got into it, fairly good earlier on the first call. So if you wanted to incorporate some of that in to this one, you can about, what it was like 10 years ago versus what it's like now, and, people fighting and people helping.
Oh, yeah. I know back in the 80s, that's more than 10 years ago.
It doesn't feel like it.
No, it don't. But back then it was like bands, especially bar bands, like rock and roll bar bands, that hung out at the music store and all that stuff, playing metal, hated each other.
Mm-hmm.
That guitar player
really
sucked, and this singer was shitty, and that guy could out-shred that guy, and that was everywhere, man. No one got along. No one would help each other out. And now it's not like that.
What do you think changed?
I know in the 90s, it got better because the guitar hero guy died away in the 90s. I
Okay.
think that's part of it because he's like, okay, now we all suck. Here, now let's do this.
Now let's do this. Here, hold my beer.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
my turn.
Yeah. And everyone, they worked it out, man. It was working great.
Nowadays, like it was discussed the other day, nowadays it seems like the bar bands are making better money than the actual original bands out there trying to make it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. And I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. And it's shitty, though. It's shitty. It's shitty. But,
Yeah, because once you're out there trying to make it, then you got to compete with the big dogs,
yeah.
and like even promoting and producing and booking and stuff. There's certain venues I can't book at because of different contracts and stuff, or there's different bands I can't book because of contracts.
Yeah, gotcha.
Then the bigger you get, the more contracts there are.
There's more hoops you're going to have to jump through. And you know what?
Yep.
You know what? They're gonna, at the end of all those hoops you can jump through, there's going to be a lot more money. That's what they say. So
Yeah.
you're going to have to jump through all these hoops, but there's going to be a big pile of money waiting for you.
We
And that's
need to do something about the big industry, like Live Nation and some of the major record labels and stuff. That we need change there.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got one company that owns from the venue all the way down to the bands, more or less, that's, and then you got contracts with these people and contracts with those people, and it almost becomes a monopoly, and it makes it hard to compete.
Yeah. And they're not going to call it a monopoly because
No,
monopolies are illegal. So they're not going to call it a monopoly. They're going to call it something else.
absolutely.
Because
But we all know it feels like a monopoly. I'm not saying it is one, but it feels like it.
that's what I agree with you. I agree with you. It's like we know monopolies are illegal, and so they're going to call it something else.
Yeah.
And they're going to
Just
change a couple of little pieces in it here on how the game works, and it's going to look like something else, but it's fucking Monopoly, dude. So,
yeah, there you go.
however you want to turn it around, it's Monopoly. And they're just knowing how to play those pieces around. But
Mm-hmm. I mean, because what does it take to book, your favorite bands at the BOK Center?
yeah,
Who do you got to go to? Who do you got to talk to? When it comes to these venues that Live Nation owns,
yeah,
and Live Nation's partner
people.
with Ticketmaster, how could somebody like Scott from Ticketstorm there in Oklahoma City get into the big arena shows?
You cannot. How much money you got, boy? That's what they're going to ask him.
Yeah.
It's like, how much money you got?
Exactly.
You want in this? Okay. And he ain't going to be able to get in that.
No. Just like Rocklahoma getting these big bands such as Metallica.
Yeah.
It takes money to book that talent.
Yeah. And you're going to see a lot of return on it, but you're also going to see a lot of BS on it, too.
Oh, yeah.
But
then the
you're going to see
expenses of
return.
doing all this stuff. To put on a festival such as Rocklahoma or Lollapalooza, Welcome to Rockfield, all those take a hell of a lot of money on top of booking the bands.
And whatever you're paying them.
Yeah.
And
There's some of those that's just so unattainable.
yeah. Yep.
Just like some of us trying to book some of these venues that are owned by this not monopoly,
Mhm.
How do other promoters and producers and people, how do they get into those venues?
They
That's
hire
wrong.
management. They hire
Yeah.
a booking promoter and pay them because those guys
Mhm.
are in cahoots with those guys. And you want to get in there, you got to get Dickhead Jones over there to be your agent. And I did
And
that
how much
for a
that's going to
while.
cost you?
And that's going to cost you a minimum of 10% of whatever your cut is. Minimum.
Yeah, all of these big agents and big promoters, and
Yeah.
it gets expensive to be in a band and try and make it beyond Tulsa or beyond Fort Smith, Little Rock, Nashville. I mean, even local bands in Nashville have, it's not easy for them to get out there and start playing the country music and get recognized
Yeah.
right off the bat. It still takes a lot of practice and a lot of work, a lot of effort.
And man, I have a good friend of mine lives in Nashville, Lee Morrison.
Okay.
And she works for the Universal Nashville record label. She's like the head of A&R.
Wow.
Yeah. I give her shit. But anyway, I go there, I've been there and see her and hanging out. And then we go around to bars, and at these bars that are just these shit nowhere bars in Nashville off the beaten path, there's a bar band playing in there, and those guys are badass. I mean, even the bands that you think wouldn't be worse than they were badass. Every one of them I heard in Nashville was badass. And
How
man,
many would make it?
yeah, that's what's going to take in there. I guess in that area, you got to be a badass to even get heard.
Hmm. So why is location different at that point? If you want to get heard, what do you got to do?
I know. That's what I mean. You're right there at Nashville.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's where it's nice having this digital platform.
Yeah.
You don't have to you don't have to mail off tapes and CDs and stuff. And now you just stick it in your email, and it's right there, pretty much instantly.
Yep. And that has changed a lot since my days of hanging up flyers and mailing off this and that for gigs back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I do not miss that. Cause man, you ain't got a flyer and mail out shit like you used to do.
Chasing after all those electric line posts and
Yeah.
hammer those in there. Go from bar to bar, venue to venue, passing out your flyer everywhere you can.
Yeah. And
Nowadays, you just make one online and
bam.
you hit share.
Yeah.
And share and share and share. Promote it.
Yeah.
How many times do we see local bands throughout that they book a show and they can't promote themselves?
Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of them don't know how to. You know, they don't know. Come here from Skidum.
Why not though?
I
How
know
hard is it
that's
to be
why
on
they're
social
learning.
media and share stuff?
They need to learn that. I don't know. That's just doing it.
Practice, practice, practice.
And unfortunately, mistakes are the best teachers.
Yes.
So don't get pissed off when you make a mistake, man. That was a gift that was given to you right there. You just learned without a doubt that ain't right. That's wrong. So
100%.
yeah.
They're not mistakes, they're learning lessons.
Yeah. Yep. That's why I
They're learning opportunities.
said time playing guitar. I never made a mistake in my life. And they're like, what? I was like, nope. I wasn't a mistake. I learned that don't work. That right there don't
Exactly.
work. That's what that was.
Exactly. Kind of like you don't get lost. You're just driving around looking at the beautiful scenery.
Mm-hmm. That goes back to every time I play, I learn. It's like, okay, that didn't sound good. That didn't sound right. Or that did, or whatever.
Change it up, do it again.
Yep, that's it. I think one of my teachers in college says, like, what you got to do is you do this scale phrase so many times that you never, ever, ever want to do it again. And then do it again. And then after that,
Like
do it
learning
again.
rudiments.
And he said, then you never want to do it again. You don't care if you ever then do it again. He's like, then I better do it again. And before you put your guitar down, do it again. But that he was right. That's the only way you get it. Practice, fucking practice.
That horrible P word, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
How about practicing with a metronome?
I recommend that immensely. I recommend that big time. I'm going to get back to that actually, because I'm going to take my own advice on this one, because I've got a really good sense of time because of my background in the music and all that, blah, blah, blah. But here recently, I've kind of noticed, I feel like I've been speeding up a little bit at my playing. And so I'm going to go back to practicing with a metronome, which I used to religiously do. So I recommend metronomes for sure.
So you're not the one that's going to argue with having click in your ear at a concert?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
So being that you're just on guitar, I know this one's not on my little list. I think I sent you guys a list. But being that you're just one person on one guitar, what's your opinion on tracks? Like, you know, you go to a concert and you're playing tracks, like background tracks and stuff to
I've actually had a gig with tracks. I've actually had a gig that made good money with tracks. It's a band that was called Mr. Hyde was the name of the band.
Okay.
And anyway, they did all dance shit. It was no originals, we did rock and stuff, but it was all classic rock, stuff you could dance to. And but we did a lot of Prince. We did Gap Band, You Dropped a Bomb on Me, and all this shit like that. And but they had backing tracks to it. Had all the orchestras and all the other parts, except we were supplying the drums and all the other instruments. And I was cool with that because I could play to a click. I was actually really comfortable playing to that.
So she says your phone's about to die.
Yeah.
Jessica, think you can send another invite and see what happens?
On his end or mine?
On your
end.
Okay, yes. I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, then we can just finish up and everything will be, you know, still recorded.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, see what you can do.
Alrighty. You just, once you go live again or whatever, just send me the invite and I'll do that.
Here, I got an invite right here. Let's see if it'll add you. Come on, add. There we go.
No, you gotta leave it there.
Oh, you can turn yours off, George.
We're gonna have it.
No, she said you can turn yours off.
Okay.
There we go.
Great. Happy baby.
Howdy doody. Again, and on the same video.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go plug this in.
Where were we? Question 2, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember what all we were talking about. We got lost somewhere, but that's okay. That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Getting your story out there.
Okay.
And part of the story, let me ask you this one. Since we all have people who influence us,
Oh yeah.
who is or are your biggest influences, both as an individual and as an artist?
Let's see. As a guitarist, my Eddie Van Halen, Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, and I don't know, the other one probably be David Gilmour, Santana, but that style.
Nothing wrong with Santana.
What's that?
Said nothing's wrong with Santana.
Oh, I love Santana.
Yes.
I love Santana.
How about a little Zakk Wylde in there?
Oh yes, I love Zakk Wylde. Oh my God, I am in love with that guy.
Yes.
That's just
He
me.
was the reason
That's
I
my
started.
opinion.
And
Do what?
I was just saying that was my opinion.
Yes. You're not wrong. That was the reason I started going to Rocklahoma back in 2014 because of Black Label Society.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard Black Label Society, he's like, I'm going.
Yeah.
I get to see my Zakk Wylde.
Yeah, I would love to go see him.
Man, I met him at a vintage guitar show I was at in Arlington in like 04, I think. Anyway, I met him there, and dude, I shook his hand. It was like shaking a baseball mitt.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like this big old hand. He was the nicest dude, though. He was a cool dude.
He seems like he would be nice, but yeah, you're not wrong. He's there.
But he ain't one of those guys that's gonna be la la la, and you know, he's a cool guy, but he ain't gonna sit there and mince words and hang out and BS.
Right.
But he was.
He can make.
Yeah.
He can also shred on that guitar too.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I may not be a drummer, but I can appreciate a good guitarist.
Yeah.
Who else are your influences?
I like for music-wise, I really like the Beatles.
The Beatles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
They
the
have some
Beatles.
different styles playing.
And Led Zeppelin's also probably my favorite band. And Van Halen, obviously.
Who's Van Halen for 500?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That'd be George Paul New's favorite band of all times. Ding ding ding.
There you go. Van Halen's got to be number one. Then number 2 is Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix. Then
How about personal? I know you mentioned an instructor earlier. I'm sure they're pretty influential.
well, I took lessons off of a guy named Tommy Crook.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know who Tommy Crook is, but Google him. You'll be able to find him. And this
Tommy
guy,
Crook.
a Chet Atkins level guitar, and dude's been playing forever. And anyway, I took a couple of lessons off of him, and man, he was just the coolest guy. Man, he had the talent to go pretty much as far as he wanted, but he was just like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good right here. I'm making plenty of money. Bills are paid. My wife's happy. Everything, life's good. I don't want to go.
That's what counts.
I don't want to go off and satisfied all the people in Nashville and Los Angeles and New York and be famous, and I'm good right here. Thank you very much, though.
You know you're supported. You know you're welcomed.
That's what yeah, and he passed away not too long ago, but Tommy was a man. So that'd be one, Tommy.
Okay.
Another friend of mine, Ron Bourne, was a big inspiration on me. And he passed away about 3-4 years ago. But anyway, he's the first one that told me that, because I was getting frustrated because I was doing all these guitar parts. We were doing covers at this point.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I'm not having a problem with this guitar solo on this and that and da da da. And Ron just stopped me, said, you are the greatest George New style guitar player in the world. He's like, go out there and play like George New.
I love it.
And I was like, okay. He's like, no one can play like George New better than you. He's like, there ain't a soul out there that can do that better than you. So get out there.
He is not wrong.
No, he's not. And I was like, damn it. So I still carry that with me on everything. Like, yeah.
You know, that's how I feel with my drumming too, is that I am not the Rev. I am not Lars. I might be a little better with the Lars. Never mind. I'm not going to compare myself to him either. I am me.
Yeah, that's it. Yep, that is it.
As long as we work to better ourselves for ourselves, other than trying to be somebody that we're clearly not. I think that sounds kind of important.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That helped me a lot. Actually, even in my songwriting and everything, because for a long time, you try to write like a certain song. I mean, you're not copying the song, you know, where you're just changing the words of that song, you know, but you're influenced by that song. That's the kind of vibe you're going for, is that song. LP.
Gotta click this off my screen so I can scroll. So,
huh? Oh, Alec. Alec.
All right. So, what do you look for in managers, producers, and promoters?
Managers, producers, promoters. Managers, producers, promoters.
Let's hear it.
Cocaine, marijuana, alcohol.
George!
I'm joking. I don't do cocaine no more. So I ain't doing that shit again. But
It's fun, but not worth the money, right?
well, man, not for the little burst of joy you get.
How are we talking about cocaine now?
Yeah, we ain't going there. So,
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right?
yeah.
Music sells,
But
peace sells, or whatever, something.
yeah.
So yeah, managers, producers, and promoters. The legal route. But no, unload on us. You know, what's your thoughts and opinions? And what do you look for?
Management's the one you're almost going to have to roll the dice on. I mean, you can look at maybe if they have other clients, you maybe gauge off, but if they don't have anybody and you don't have anybody, but they can get you in some doors, you may have to roll the dice on the manager. But other than that, you know, and in that case, trust your gut. Trust your freaking gut.
Absolutely.
And ask around, man. Ask around for managers. And it's probably the best thing of going with there's a management company out of Oklahoma City that we used to do through in Stone Lily days.
Okay.
Can't remember what the name of it was. But anyway, we did to them, but you had to pay them, obviously. But
Mm-hmm.
you got gigs, man, and it was bam, you got gigs.
Free
You know?
gigs, paid gigs,
You got
all the
paid.
above.
Uh,
You
you
did.
ain't got paid. Yeah, it's all paid gigs. But
Good deal. As long as the people buy the tickets and show
yeah,
up.
oh yeah. And some of those gigs wasn't at shows. It was like a couple of them was at a party.
Okay.
Somebody went
Privately booked stuff.
to the agency that books bands and said, "We want a party for a band." And they called us up and said, "You want to play at a party for $500?" Like, sure, we'll play it. It's like, all right, we got you a band. And we showed up out there, played the party, got $500, and and we had a couple of those. Those were fun. Those are the ones that can get you in trouble because the private party ones can get kind of risque, if you will.
Yeah, that's why you got to look into the party that you're being booked for.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll be kind of bad to book a heavy metal show for, or a heavy metal band for a Tupperware party.
Yeah. Unless it was Ozzy. I'd buy some Tupperware off Ozzy.
No,
Yeah. I'd buy anything off Ozzy, though.
I'd have to consider that. Oh, wait, you meant the other Aussie.
Yeah. Or both,
Okay.
whatever. This is a pun. We can work with it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think anything Aussie of mine would make it very far.
Yeah.
Maybe here in Oklahoma, but not anywhere else. So, how about your producers and promoters?
Producer, actually, I've not really worked with any, even though I have, but I've not worked with any producer that's told me to change a damn thing.
So they pretty easy to work with then?
Yeah, they let me do whatever was doing, and
Okay.
a lot of them, but a lot, it depends. And I know it comes back to each musician is their, not every guitar player is the same guitar player as whatever. But
Absolutely.
with one guy that he gave me so much clear, he said, all right, now in this song, man, put a riff at the beginning of it. And I went, what? And he goes, put a guitar riff at the beginning of it. And again, I was like, what? And he said, just something that goes da 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 da. And I was like, all right. So I sit down and I dicked around with a few scales and some modal shit and then came up with a da 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 sounding thing. And he's like, that's it.
Easy
So,
as that.
and that's about the most work I've done with producers. They're just like, do this. And I may have to work it out, but I'll usually get it. Or good enough anyway.
So it's almost like they have a good ear
Yeah.
and they know what you're capable of doing.
Either that or they're lazy and they don't care. There's always
And then, so how
that.
about promoters?
Yeah.
What's your view on promoters?
Promoters, unfortunately,
People like me.
huh?
People like me.
No, you're like getting gigs, and
Okay.
that was the other guy, management and stuff. Promoters, unfortunately, well, around here, you don't to play around here at the clubs and stuff. You really don't need it, but
How about bigger venues like
you need
Kane's, the
you
Vanguard?
need them. You need them. You're gonna if you're gonna want to get in there, you're gonna need some kind of promoter.
And then somebody that can help you
The
book other
management.
bands and deal with the tickets and.
We got in there opening for Ted Nugent. Actually, because of me is why we got in there. Because I worked at Music Go Round in Tulsa, which was a good music store.
Mm-hmm.
And we always backlined the Canes whenever bands would come in and they'd want a backline of this amp and that amp and all that. Sometimes we would have to backline a couple of amps for them. And so I knew them that way. So when Ted Nugent comes in the concert, and at first I was like, who's opening? And he's like, I don't know, we ain't picked one. I was like, it's us. It's going to be us.
You got to put yourself out there, though.
But man, we got in that gig, and it was cool. I wish I would videoed it.
That would have been nice.
But we didn't have cell phones, and even if we did, they probably wouldn't let us take them in the Canes during the Ted Nugent show. I don't know. Maybe they would have.
It's kind of dependable nowadays. I mean, it's a hot topic debate nowadays of like, especially centered around Tool. You know.
Yeah.
When I went a couple years ago there to be okay, it was honestly one of the best experiences to just like I almost forgot to pull my song out when my phone out, the last song when he said, "Okay, this is the one you guys have been waiting for. If you want to pull your phone out and record it, go for it." I almost forgot to pull it out.
Man,
I was just enjoying the moment that much.
I'm glad you think that. I've told people, it's like, dude, I saw Tool live on the Inema tour, the tour I saw them on.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, you could draw a circle around the guitar player's feet and the bass player's feet, and they'd never get out of them. And they never missed a goddamn note. Said all those weird sounds that you hear, those little bells, and you don't even know what the fuck that thing was, they did it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, he was always grabbing pedals, and forget about the drummer. Good God, that guy's not human.
Danny's a beast.
Yeah, he's running on a different. I don't know. I'm still running on Windows 95. He's running on something else.
Yeah, he's running on AI.
Yeah,
he's not real.
But I told the guys, I said, dude, I went saw that concert. Said none of the musicians moved. They stood there, and Maynard was up on a little stage behind the drummer, and the drummer wasn't even facing the crowd. He was facing across the stage.
Nonpoint does that too. Rob from Nonpoint does that.
And did not move a muscle, and it was the best fucking show you ever saw in your fucking life.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
It was amazing, dude.
It makes it a lot easier to enjoy the show when you're not looking at it like this, you know?
Yeah. And
you're actually in the moment and not in the phone.
I like
but on the flip side of that, it's nice to have some memories too.
Yeah.
You know, something to show your friends.
Yeah.
Like, you missed a good show. I wish you was here.
Yeah.
I could look back on it from last year and be like, oh yeah, that was a fun time last year.
Yeah.
But there's also those memories of being right there in the moment.
And that's like chasing a dragon's tail. Because we're always looking to be in that moment.
Yes. You never know how special that moment's going to be.
No, not at all. Until it's gone, and then you're going to be chasing after another moment. So,
yep.
They're sneaky like that, though, those fucking moments, assholes.
Right. Kind of like the Gremlins, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I was at a show a couple years ago for Trans-Siberian Orchestra. My first time to see them.
They're amazing.
Well, first and only. It was in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And I was down on the floor, row M, for VIP, and there was one of the songs. It was a slower song, and so I busted out my lighter.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, there's a tap on my shoulder. I turn around, and the guy's like, "You're showing your age right there."
Uh-huh.
Everybody else pulling up cell phones and putting their cameras up.
That's their lighter.
It is nowadays.
We show our age because yeah.
Not to make us feel too old or anything, but that's for perfect health. Long gone. So, what kind of stuff would you look for in recording studios, and what kind of things do you have to say, good or positive or negative or whatever, like constructive criticism for recording studios?
I had a studio before I got divorced and moved from Inola, but I had a pretty good studio that I built myself. Of course, I was using Pro Tools,
Mm-hmm.
and at this point, I had a good job, and I was making good money, so I could buy. And I was working at Music Go Round, so I was working at the music store, so I could buy whatever shit I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the Pro Tools, I had a good system, and I did 6 Foot Landings. I recorded our EP on my Pro Tools.
Nice.
I mean, it's not as good as our album, but it's good. Good enough. I would have used any demo I did back in the 80s. It would have been better than any of that crap.
Right. There's a lot of people who talk smack on Pro Tools too.
Yeah. I like Pro Tools.
So for those that aren't familiar with Pro Tools, what are Pro Tools?
That's a company called Digidesign owns it, and it's basically it's a recording software that comes with this little unit that your computer plugs into, and that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much recording, controlling your whole studio, which is inside the computer now. So you have all the reverbs, all the plugins. If you got the money, you can add infinite amount of plugins and shit. If you got enough money, you have the computer power to pull it, you can do it.
Okay.
And but that part of it, I really like.
So if I was to use it running in my analog mixer, which you got to see out there at Rocklawine last year,
Yeah.
I would plug that in like via the USB cable out, plug it into the box, and then run the box to my computer.
Yes and no.
Oh.
Yes, and yes, you are correct. That's exactly how you would plug it into a computer.
Mm-hmm.
What you just said.
Okay.
No, and I don't know if the app is going to recognize the other one, because that is not an analog board. It might not recognize. It's not going to recognize that unless that's a digital board.
So I'd have to upgrade to digital.
And now, if that's digital, then you're talking about now. Is it speaking the same language? Is it on the same wavelength?
Are they compatible?
Within the compatible. Thank you. Is it compatible with each other? And what do you have to get to make it compatible? Can you make it compatible? And
that's just like with my mixer. I had to have the Mackie interface downloaded on my computer and on, so that when I turn my computer on and turn the mixer on, they can sync up, and then I can record on whatever software I wanted to.
Yeah. And
but it's nothing more than just an interface, like translating.
Mm. Man, I had a friend of mine, good friend of mine, Will Holcomb. Man, this
Mm-hmm.
guy had some gear, it was some cool shit. But he had this one program that would take a microphone, just like a regular la 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 singing into a microphone, and take
Mm-hmm.
that signal and convert that signal over to MIDI.
Really?
Would convert it to MIDI numbers. It wouldn't do melody, it would do MIDI numbers. So you could plug that into a MIDI controlled keyboard, which all of them are.
Mm-hmm.
That, and you sit there with that mic and you can go la 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 la, put it on piano, and then it sounds like a piano is going ding 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 ding. Or if you want, and
So
then
it
all you
makes
got to
me
do,
wonder.
you can sing all your parts, is what I'm saying. You can sing every part for the whole band and record it on each track, and there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, that's getting scary, man. I was like, when I did that, I was like, dude, you shitting me? I was like,
Mm.
now, and that's been years ago. Man, that's been probably 5, 10 years ago when he showed that to me. What do they have
So it
now?
makes me wonder.
I mean, what they have now, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's they can convert like how we're talking right now. They can convert that to MIDI numbers and put whatever instrument they want to be violin. There you go, going.
So at the Bowman, the way they run their lights is on a keyboard,
Yeah,
ran through a computer.
yeah.
So you take this microphone,
You
run
can
it
do
to
the
the MIDI
same
box,
thing.
or the MIDI box to the keyboard, and the keyboard controlling those lights
Do the same
would
thing.
be off your voice.
Yep, 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 yep. Exactly.
So that's probably what's happening when you set those lights to audio, like pick up the audio and do its thing.
Yeah, well, that's a little different because that's just like it has a threshold trigger. When it breaks that, it lets the power through. Once it gets a loud enough sound that breaks that threshold, it'll let that light through. So, and then you can
Okay.
turn how loud you want that noise to be that lets it through. But that's not converted it to the MIDI number. That's just putting a threshold on a thing. It's just going to make a light go off.
Okay.
Which means the light technically already off. You're just breaking that threshold to let it be seen.
The I-O, yeah.
Yeah.
Or 1-0, 1
Yeah.
0 1 0 0 1. Yeah. Yeah. Binary.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
each of them controlled individually. They're all, you set them all to audio. They can all be independent and do different things, different colors.
Mhm.
That goes beyond my realm of capabilities.
Yeah.
I'm a sound technician, not a lighting technician. Sorry,
Yeah.
but not a lighting technician. I'm just putting that out there. I will contract that out if I have to,
Yeah.
or subcontracted, or whatever the case is. I can't do lighting.
Yeah. We used to have lights in 6 Foot Landing. We had lights, and dude, we had a bad PA system. And again, it was because of me and Christian, who was a drummer for 6 Foot Landing. He worked at the music store with me.
Okay.
But we had access to get all this badass gear cheap.
What did you guys run for gear?
We run Electro Voice, subs, and top. And it was QSC Power and Crown Power.
Okay, two well-known names in the industry.
And mixer was a Mackie.
Good name.
It was a 24/4 Mackie. It was a big one. And
Yes.
we had a bunch of outboard gear. I don't know what all outboard gear we had for the reverbs, but we had all that crap.
EQs,
I let our sound man
compressors.
buy all that shit. I didn't buy all that.
It's there. They're in one rack somewhere. It's there. Give it a couple years, it'll be sitting in a museum.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Everything's going digital.
Yep.
We discussed it in the first video before you guys lost connection.
Yeah.
Some of the benefits of digital, like, you used to have all this outboard gear, just 5-foot racks, 6-foot racks, just plastered all over front of house. Nowadays, you take all that gear and then some and put it in a 64 channel mixer, not even 5 foot wide.
Yeah. Yeah.
All ran through cat cable.
And I will say, man, they're getting really good with their, especially the Line 6. I think they knocked it out of the park with their, the way they amp simulation.
Yes.
And
those pedal boards that basically does everything.
Yeah.
That eliminates the need for all your backline gear for your guitar.
Have you seen all the shit that they model?
I've seen parts of it.
It's not just guitar amps and bass amps. They model guitars.
Yeah.
And model pickups and model microphones and model.
They've got everything on there.
Out there.
Any kind of pedal you could imagine, any sound, any style, any amp head.
They got this old microphone that's this old ribbon mic, like a biodynamic.
Ooh.
It's like $1,000, and you're like, oh shit, for that Line 6 remade $1,000. It's like the actual one's $10,000. If you want to get a real one, I mean, they make them real. You can go get a real one, but it's about $10,000. So it's gonna run you. And
so if that's the one that you really, really want to use, I guess you got to pay a little money for it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to spend a little bit, but it ain't gonna be $10,000. It's just gonna be maybe $1,000. You might be able to get it on sale for $7 or $5 if it's whatever. But even $1,000 might be easier to swallow than $10,000.
For something that's more fragile.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, those good mics are damn expensive.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's better to have it digital in, some cases.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, with the guitar stuff, that takes away so much of that back line and takes away a lot of that stage noise.
Oh, yeah.
That's like using in-ear monitors versus the wedges. That takes away a lot of that stage noise.
Cleans up the whole stage. You go in here.
Yeah. Yeah. If you ran Line 6 and in-ear.
Yeah.
And the setup is a lot easier than having to set up that whole back line.
I used to play 6 Foot Landing. We were in rotation on schedule. We played at a lot of casinos. And the thing there, couldn't bring an amp, no guitar amp, no bass amp, no drums, no cymbals, no drums. All right, show up to the gig. There was a digital kit there. There was a good kit. It was one of the really good Roland digital kits. One of the one of those was there, but that's what everyone used. No snares, no nothing. And we had Line 6 pods to plug guitar and bass into, and they would pump us back through the monitors so we could hear our guitars or bass, and that's how we did the gigs. Drums were
kept it simple.
Everything was plugged direct, and it sounded so clean.
Yes.
So that comes down to the number one thing: can you fucking play or can you not? Because if you can,
do you have a?
Yeah.
Do what?
I said, because if you can play doing it that way, should sound really good. But if you
and then you have a good sound tech.
if you ain't that tight of a player, then that, you know, not having that cushion may affect the way you play a little bit.
Yeah. You need to learn to be versatile, sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like I was also saying, though, it's good to have a good sound tech, too, that, you know, has a really good ear.
That's why we
Because
have the same one.
do what?
That's why we had the same one through my whole career with 6-foot landing, and that was actually one of my stipulations for joining the band. I
I
was
bring
like,
my guy.
I'll join if Jesse can come with me.
There you
And
go.
so different Jesse Cunningham. It was our sound man. He passed away. Good Lord, everyone I know has passed away. I know that, but anyway, he was our sound man from Stone Lily, which started in 95, 96,
Hmm.
all the way up to 6-foot landing, which started about 99 up to 2018. So
Oh,
I did
wow.
a lot of time with Jess. And so it makes a big difference when you have a good sound man.
It helps when
And
they know the music.
yeah,
It helps a lot. But, you know, you go to some random place that's running in-house sound with an in-house technician that knows the venue, and especially having all that digital stuff where all you got to do is plug in, they do a quick line check, they check your individual volume, and it's ready to go. And
yeah,
it's controlled, especially these small casinos like you mentioned.
yeah, yeah.
It, you got to have really good tonal and sound control. And if you've got a really good technician with a good ear, regardless of what your tone sounds like on stage, they're going to have that tone and EQ'd and sounding just perfect for the biggest coverage as they can throughout that casino.
Yeah.
And that's going to make it hard to do when they're having the mic amplifiers and mic drums, and then you just turn up and make it too loud and it blows everybody's eardrums, you know?
Okay.
You hit the mute button.
Yeah.
So, I guess the last topic of those questions would be what do you look for in venues? If you're looking for a venue to book, what do you look for?
Oh my God. Anyone that'll pay me?
One that'll pay?
Yeah. Yeah.
That they give you time to play?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a chance. And but yeah.
In-house sound or bring your own?
You know, I would rather in-house sound, but I don't mind bringing my own. Because bringing my own is just for me, my guitar, and my voice, and I got that in the car.
There you go.
So
So you just want a venue that pays and lets you play. Fair enough. Um, if you could play any one show with any artist or at any and at any venue, even if it is not attainable, with who and where would it be?
do they have to be alive?
No,
Okay.
because it's not alive, it's not attainable.
Okay. Let's see.
Jimmy Page.
That's how he's one of the five that's rolling in my head. Another one would be Dwayne Allman would be another one I would fair. Of course, Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen, Jimmy Page. And
Okay.
you know what? Now that I think about it, if I could do anyone, anywhere, anytime, any venue, I would do Robert Johnson at fucking whatever one of those dive fucking Chitlin Circuit bars.
Okay.
I'd love to play with Robert Johnson. Just to, if I could just get in his brain for just a second and see what the hell's going on.
Good answer.
Yeah.
So Jessikah, if you could do what you're doing, but for any one artist, even if that artist is not obtainable,
Uh-huh.
who would that be with, Jessikah?
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant?
I say Robert Plant because I love Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
It will be Robert Plant for me, or James Hetfield from Metallica.
Robert
Well,
Plant
you wouldn't want Kirk.
Do what?
Well, you wouldn't want Kirk.
I like Kurt, but I'm not saying he sucks or anything. He's a very great guitar player, but it's James Hetfield for me. Always has
Okay.
been ever since I was about, I don't know, 6, 7 years old.
Okay.
James Hetfield has.
Now he knows how to shred a guitar, and he's good.
James Hetfield has a right wrist of God.
Yes, he does, and that's why I would say
there's
him.
nobody that has a right wrist as tight as Hetfield. It's just, and he's singing while he's doing all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Hetfield, respect, man, respect.
Yep, that would be my answers on that. James Hetfield or Robert Plant.
Nice. Oh. So I don't think we really had any viewer questions besides, who is this?
Who that?
Then we had, the comment, go listen to my cousin's band, Marry, Sleep with, Kill.
Yep. Most definitely do that.
Yep.
And so, if you could add anything, either, to both of you, if you could add any one extra thing, whether it's, let's make it directed towards the music community from whichever angle, what would you guys have to say?
So the music community.
The music community is freaking awesome.
Yeah, keep up the good work. You're heading in the right direction.
Yes.
It's looking good. Good work. Hope everyone keeps.
I hope it continues to grow and everything like that, and it gets bigger than what it is right now. Yeah.
So just positive vibes to the music industry.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work. It's getting better.
I like that.
No problem.
So,
Just positive all the way around.
so bands and fans alike, and recording studios. We need some recording studios. You guys go get Jessikah Roadiee and George Paul New. Go give them some follows. Become some fans. I think you'll like them. They are some amazing people. Guys, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it has been.
It has been.
I can't wait till we work with each other again.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up real quick because I want to ask. I need my. There we go. I need my list. So tomorrow, I'm not sure yet. Nikki Lane of Rock Girl Management. They're supposed to be here, but there's a medical emergency going on, so we'll have to play that one by ears. Let me see. If you could pick one band that you would love to see me interview, a local band or a local producer, a local recording studio, local, whoever.
Yeah,
Who would you want me to interview? Who do you want to see me interview?
that's a good question. Let me think. There's
You already interviewed Chuck. That was
Mm-hmm.
my first guess, but you already interviewed him. So
I say these are going on.
have you even tried to like have an interview with Struggle?
Struggle?
Yeah, Ray Fields.
If you can copy and paste their profile to me so I can look them up,
I
I'll
can
look
do.
into it.
Me personally, I think it would be him because
Okay.
yeah, Brock and Katie.
Yeah, that should have been the first one I said.
Yeah, they're coming out of Muskogee. They're really pretty good too. They're red dirt and they're badass.
I'm an angel.
Yes, they are. So I would have to go with what George said, Brock and Katie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
Ray
yeah,
Fields,
just send me
like
their
I
stuff.
said, Ray Fields, because he's into the metal scene and everything. I would like to see him too, because I've actually watched him play, and he's badass.
Okay. Yeah. Send me those suggestions and I'll work on it, see what I can do.
Yeah,
See what I can come up with.
we'll do that.
Until then, guys, it's been a great pleasure interviewing, talking with you guys, listening to your stories.
Cool.
It's been a great pleasure knowing you guys so far.
Yeah.
Awesome. Likewise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You guys go give these two a follow.
Thank you.
If you're watching this interview whenever, I don't care when, go give Jessikah Roadiee and George Paul New a follow. You'll appreciate them. Guys, it's time to cut out, and I will tag you in the videos later after I get them uploaded.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care.
And you can have a good night as well.
Thank you.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Whether watching live or watching in the future, thank you guys. Much appreciated. It's time to get going.